Thank you, everybody. Oh, you guys have been great. Thank you. Love the applause. I love to hear that applause. That is terrific. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a magnificent, unbelievable show. Now, I got some fantastic guests, and when we come back, well, I'm going to tell you who that we have on the show. But I got to tell you something. People always say to me, you know, Mike, I love the way you dress. Well, guess what, folks? I've been in Las Vegas 50 years. I dressed like this all my life. Because when Kmart came to Vegas, that was the end of people wearing suits and ties to go see shows. So, and people always say to me, boy, I love your smile, Mike. You got the greatest smile. What a personality. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something. If you want a great smile, you have to turn around and you got to brush with Colgate. Colgate's the most important thing because that's what really gets your teeth pearly white. And I got to tell you something, if it's not white and you can't get it white enough, then you got to do what I do. You got to turn around and you got to go to a dentist and you got to turn around and spend $40,000, get some implants in like I did, and you'll get that same smile that I got. So like I said, Colgate is the way to go. Stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to do a commercial.
Are you looking to increase your business? Are you looking to take your business or organization to the next level? Well, look no further. The Michael Leonetti Variety Show has everything you need to become a great success. Contact us now to get all the information you need to take your business to the next level.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. What did I tell you? How'd you like that opening? That's what I'm talking about. A beautiful Colgate smile. As I promised, we have a phenomenal show. But before I go any further, I got some great surprises. But naturally, I got to talk about my sponsors. Kellogg's, Bob Kellogg. Bob, I tell you every week that I love you. And what's so nice, finally, for God's sake, after 40 shows, you finally decided from Battle Creek, Michigan, that we could do a split screen, and I'm going to bring you on so everybody can see that handsome smile you got. So we got Kellogg's as a sponsor. I'd like to thank WeLink. WeLink is one of the biggest, powerfulest internet companies, and my brother runs that corporation. So if you need any kind of internet, it's the biggest fiber optics. Make sure that you see him because he did a beautiful commercial for me. I want to thank George Harris with Alien Tequila. And I say this all the time, ladies and gentlemen, I don't drink. But if you're a tequila lover, I got to tell you something. It is the best tequila you have ever tasted in your entire life. What I love is the bottle. The bottle's incredible. It looks like a little alien head. In fact, it reminds you of my brother a little bit when I look at it. I'm trying to say. And I'm also like to thank a brand new sponsor that I'm very excited. Now, you know, every week I tell everybody we are at 40,000 people a week. Well, guess what I just done? I just signed up a major sponsor, Manifest Academy. They reach 80,000 people through their distribution. 80,000. So between them and myself, that's 100,000 people that we have that will watch this show each week. And that's Mr. Rob Lacy. He's going to be a part of our show. And one of my special guests is I have the honorable. For me to get this guy was a miracle. What a wonderful man he is. And we're going to talk about some great things. And that's the great governor, former governor, Mr. Bob List, when governors were governors. And this guy, to me, not only is a very special friend of mine, and he came to my restaurant so many times and had dinner. Wonderful man. You're going to meet him. And we also have Jon Karrant. And Jon Karrant is a phenomenal singer that I seen him at the Smith Center. And he did a show with a 69-piece orchestra. This is the upcoming new people that's coming into Las Vegas. Good-looking kid, great hair. I wish I had his hair. I mean, the guy's just phenomenal. And I have a very special guest star that I'm going to be bringing in. And I don't want to spoil it. Okay, he's a really big producer. Has millions of people that he has access to that we're working in conjunction. So, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to subscribe, to push the button throughout the show. We ask you to do that for one specific reason, because it helps build the channel. People say, well, Mike, I got the show. What the hell I got to subscribe for? We ask you to subscribe, like, share. Very, very important, because this is the #1 show in Las Vegas. And let's not forget my book, ladies and gentlemen, Deceit, Corruption, and Cover-Up. It's a story of my life. Okay, I sold over 18,000 books so far, which is magnificent. And if anybody wants to know about who I am, what happened to me, and what I did throughout my life, please buy the book. It's $24.95, but all the money, and I repeat this, all the money goes to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, because those kids, it means a lot. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my buddy, the magnificent, the wonderful, the dynamic Mr. Bob Kellogg. Bob, can you hear me out there in Battle Creek, Michigan?
Yes, sir, I can.
Hi,
Thank you for having me as a guest.
My pleasure, Bobby. I love you, pal. You look like Brad Pitt a little. You got that resemblance. That's who you remind me.
It happens to me all the time.
So, Bob, what the hell's going on in Battle Creek?
Snow.
What's going on in Battle Creek, Michigan? Is it snowing? Is it cold? What's the story?
Oh, it's warmed up a little bit. I think we're in the 20s. We do have a lot of snow.
Right.
And so I spend my time shoveling snow while you're out paddling on your lake.
I'm not using the kayak, Bob. It's too cold to go out. But as soon as it warms up, buddy, I'm going to go out there. Listen, I can't thank you enough for being on the show. What I wanted to do was I wanted to get you with Governor List, but the problem is we didn't have that monitor where he could have heard back and forth. But he's right on the side writing notes down. He's writing all kinds of notes. Okay, and he was telling me how much he loves Kellogg's, and his cornflakes. So when I get him on the next segment, we're going to talk about that, because I don't know if you know this, but in 1982, when Bob List was running for governor, 82. So what was I? I must have been in my 30s. I performed with my 18-piece orchestra for him. It was a big fundraiser. I'll never forget it. And he sent me the most prettiest letter that you've ever, thanking me for performing. Whoever thought 40 years later that this wonderful individual was in my studio. So, Bob, tell me what give me some ideas. Give me what you like. And people want to know, how the hell did I get hooked up with Bob Kellogg and become a sponsor? Because I say this all the time. You don't need me to sell cornflakes. Trust me. You backed me because we were buddies and you believed in me. And it was you is the one that that launched this television show. So tell my audience, because they want to hear what you got to say, Bob.
Well, thanks. I'll tell you a little bit about the history of the company a little bit and my relationship as to what's going on. But gosh, Mike, I see up here you don't have the product of Kellogg cornflakes. I think the governor mentioned that was his favorite. We'll have to get you to have the actual cornflakes as one of the boxes up there that you show. I'll start in. I'll get to how we met and all this, but I want to tell you what's interesting and what people say. How did what's going on at Kellogg's? I got to tell you, my start with them. It started all the kids in the family. As children, we had to work the Kellogg farms in Ohio. It's the same farm that my great grandfather and uncle, they came from. They worked the same farm that we did as kids. We had to work it to learn values and really learn about what the company was and learn what's important to us as the Kellogg family. But that's, again, the same farm that John Harvey Kellogg, which is my namesake. My middle name is John, after him. My brother's is Harvey. Anyway, we would work the farm, and the farms, John Harvey and William Keith, his brother, started the company. And it was way back, by the turn of the century, which it actually started out as a cornmeal biscuit. It wasn't even cornflakes until later. They developed it for shipping and such. But it became Kellogg's cornflakes later, after they started with this cornmeal biscuit. That really launched them. Anyway, it's important I tell people, it said Kellogg's was started by farmers. And to this day, when I hire people and such, I think that you got to keep in mind that I surprise people, a lot of people I hire. I don't, or the company doesn't really hire. Well, it's changed a little bit today because it's a stock company, but in the day, which I'm going to tell you about, I still don't. And I ran, a $1 billion company, but I don't hire Ivy League scholars with multiple degrees or demand, these people coming out of these great schools, and they are great schools, but sometimes the people I look for, they don't have that letters behind their name, and they don't have the same demands. They coming out of school now, which I find a lot of these graduates, Mike, they're expecting 6, 7, 8 digit salaries. They want expense accounts. They want 5 weeks paid vacation, and they want their bonuses. And that's their expectation coming out of school sometimes. So the route that I took, and I think some of my ancestors took, and what I had learned, that you don't always get the best people necessarily unless they have the same values and the work ethic that we grew up on.
Well, Bob, I gotta say, and what you're saying, because you got thousands and thousands of people, thousands throughout the years, But what people want to know, and I say no, okay? And I told the story before when you flew in twice a year to hear me sing, eat, come to the restaurant, and the day when you called and said to Laura, I want to make a reservation for Wednesday, she says, I'm sorry, Bob, we're closed. And then she said, well, how about the next day? And you said, no, we're closed. We closed the restaurant down. And you hopped in your jet and you flew in to see me. And you said to me, and I'll never forget it, and I say this because I got you on camera, okay? You said, Mike, yeah, and we came to your suite, and I said, Bob, my wife, she didn't feel good. I said, if it was too much for her. I hated to close the restaurant. I really didn't want to close it. But God has a way of using people and bringing people into your life, like the people that I'm bringing into this show. And you said to me, what's it going to take to open another place? And I looked at you and I said, Bob, you're looking at $1 million, at least 500 to open, and at least $500,000 to till, like we started. And you opened your briefcase. I don't know what you were. I think you were going for your gun. I had no idea. Nobody teasing. And you opened your briefcase, and I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Hold it." You said, "Wait a minute, Mike. I'm sure we could work this out." I said, "No. I'm done in the kitchen. I don't want to do that no more." And I said, "But I have an idea." And it was through you, and it was through your efforts and your love as a friend that made me do this television show and stood behind me. Because I say it all the time. You didn't need me to sell cornflakes, but you gave me the credibility as a friend that believed in my show, believed in what I done, because there's nobody more powerful than you and your corporation, because to stand behind a little Italian kid from Philadelphia, especially all that I went through, and nobody sold more books for me than you, because you were buying 20, 30 books at a time, and you're going to Battle Creek, Michigan, and you're throwing them out like you were dealing cards. This guy, you got to listen to this guy's story, and, which is really great, because it puts me to another level, because if I was a shady character, believe me, there's no way in the world you'd be on my show or even sponsor me as much as you have. And I want you to know publicly, I love you for that, the kindness that you have showed, because I never thought, Bobby, in a million years that I ever would get back what was taken from me. And what I lost, everything came back. We only got a couple more minutes before we go to commercial. People want to know the reason why. Why the hell did you back me, Bob? It's got to come from you, not me.
I'll tell you what. Same as the people I hire, the same type of people I hang with. They're people that have the same work ethic, the same value, the same love of our Lord. And like I said, I hire different people that have the kind of background that you do. And I find myself, I've been more successful in not just hiring people of the same stock that you and I think come from, the same one, but I hire people that have had stories and they have had successes. It surprises people. Like I said, I don't hire the Wall Street, I don't hire the big Ivy League school grads, but I not only hire the people I love and I hang with are the ones with the great stories. Now, I mentioned earlier, I love the stories of rags to riches, the struggle certain people went through. Those are the people that I grow inspiration from. And your story is amongst the best. I mean, I came to your restaurant several times with my best friend, Tommy Ackright, that he introduced us. But and I try not to tell people who I am necessarily. Tommy had shared that when we were looking at your Rolls Royce, one of the evenings.
I sold the Rolls Royce. Bob List wanted to buy it. When I told him the price, he says, no, thanks. He's laughing. He's off camera laughing.
Well, I know, like I said, your story is what's attracted me, what you went through. And if people well, you got the book right there. I've handed out a lot of these, and I appreciate this, and I think that it really is kind of the story of you, and it's why I admire you, I love you, and why I think if people read this book, and if they read it, then they'll understand why I sponsor, you.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. Well, you know, my dear friend, before we close out this, I say this publicly. There's 3 things a person must have for the nucleus of self-success: the content of a person's character, the integrity that you hold as an individual, but most of all, the compassion that you feel towards another human being. There's not too many people, Bobby, that I know that have all 3 of those qualities. They got 1, they got 2, but not all 3. And in my heart, you got those 3. So from the bottom of my heart, Bob, I'd like to say thank you very, very much. The next segment, I'm bringing the Honorable Mr. Bob Listone. We're going to talk about you because he didn't hear half what you're talking. He can't hear.
Oh,
but he can't hear it. But I'll tell you, when he gets the show tomorrow, he's going to be peeled to it. He's going to watch what's going on. And I want to find out if it's Frosted Flakes, Cocoa Krispies, Pops, or Fruit Loops that the governor really likes. I'll get the truth out of him. I'll put that light over his face and give him the 3rd degree. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
There you go. I'm going to send you this coffee cup, okay?
You're going to send me the coffee cup?
Yes. I've sent you stuff occasionally. But, he's run just like me, he's not any different, but he has run a $1 billion state.
Yes, he does.
$1 billion company,
yes, he has.
And
yes, he has.
You have to have the right amount of leadership to do that. And I admire the heck out of him. And, with all the sponsors you're getting, you're not going to need me or Kellogg's anymore. I think.
Don't you even talk like that. Are you kidding me? I don't want to hear it. I will listen. As long as I'm on television, Kellogg's is with me. I don't forget the same people you meet on the way up, Bob, you meet on the way down. Trust me. Okay. I'm 73. Thank God I got the health and I still got a knockout punch in each hand. Whatever God gives me left. Because it's nice to be important, Bob, but it's important to be nice. And not too many people. They're important, but they're not nice. But when you get a guy like you, when you get a guy like Bob List and Joe Brown and all the wonderful people from Kia, what was his name, Andy?
Jim Marsh.
Jim Marsh. I forgot Jim. I was over Jim early this morning. He was in his vault counting his money. I don't know why, but he was out there counting all the millions that he has. Bobby, listen, I love you. I love you so well. You. If I was a peanut, I wish to God you were the shell. You're the best. Thank you. Thank you for being so nice. And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're going to go to a commercial, and we're coming back with an unbelievable guest, the magnificent, don't you move. Sit down. Don't you dare touch that dial, because Bob List is going to be right here as soon as we come back from commercial. You like my teeth? Yeah, I like them too.
In Las Vegas, countless young lives are brimming with potential, waiting for the right opportunity to shine. At Manifest Academy, we believe every child deserves a chance to succeed, not just academically, but emotionally. Through the transformative power of music, we provide mentorship that fosters mental wellness, creativity, and confidence. Our mission is simple: to empower the next generation with the tools that they need to dream big and achieve even bigger. Your support makes this possible. By donating, you give Las Vegas youth access to life-changing opportunities and a brighter future. Visit ManifestAcademyLV.org to sponsor hope, growth, and endless possibilities. Together, we can make transformative lives one note at a time.
We're back, everybody. Was that unbelievable? Guess what? As Al Jolson would say, you haven't seen nothing yet or heard anything yet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got 2 magnificent guests that I am honored through the grace of God to have on my show. 2 powerful, powerful men. Okay? And the reason why they're on the show is to bring what I have to say to the 100,000 people that I'm delighted that I can say that, because the next segment I'm bringing the new sponsor that we just picked up, you know what I mean, that you're going to love. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce a giant of a man that is a true king. And I really mean that, because those days when he governed, there was no nonsense with this guy, because if people today would learn what this man done, because to govern a a country and to govern a state. And that's pretty big stuff. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the magnificent Mr. Bob List. Bob, thanks so much for coming, buddy.
Thank you, my friend.
Boy, I
Thank
wish
you.
that God I had your hair. I'd have everything. That's the only thing I don't have is your hair. And next to that fine gentleman is Mr. Jon D. Fondy. Now, me and John met yesterday, and I'll let John tell you what he does. John is a national television. They want to go national with this television show. I mean, taking it far beyond 100,000 people, and so many different states. And John said, Mike, can I come up and just take a peek? And so I said, I got to bring in with the governor. So I'm going to start with the governor, if I may. Bob, I got to tell you, we go back to 82 or 83?
Well, I became governor in '79, and but you and I go back up to about '83, I guess.
Yeah, 1983, and I performed for Governor List with my big band, which was the Hoyt Henry Orchestra, was 18 pieces. Hoyt's long gone, and I remember them days. And that election you lost. That one,
That's correct.
You didn't make that election, but they got a bunch of entertainers, and they said, "Hey, you want to play for Governor List?" I said, "Yeah, it'd be terrific." And I came out and I sang. And I got a picture of it. I had so much hair in them days. I had hair like a buffalo. What the hell happened? But when you past 70 years old, things start to happen. You lucky son of a gun. What I wouldn't give to go like this, trying to put my hair back. Bob, I got to tell you, your day was serious. Today is serious. What the heck is going on? Why can't these people be like you? I don't understand it. There's a lot of good guys, but not like you.
Well, thank you. It's the world has changed. The state has changed. The America has changed. I do think I'm very, very pleased about what's going to happen on Monday, because with a new president, we're going to have I think a new start, a fresh beginning. People are willing to open their eyes and take a chance on a change of pace for America, and that's more like my old days, and the days that Nevada knew as we were growing. We were a small state. We go back to 1864, but we didn't grow into what we now think of as the big city of Las Vegas. It was a small town in many ways. And everybody behaved themselves, except for those in the mob. And
was the mob here?
I had a little something to do with that. We took them out. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where my uncle went. When did you take him? I haven't seen him since.
Well, it just moved out of Nevada.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I don't think they're in Utah, but no, Lord only knows where they are.
One of the things, and again, how we met, because you came to my restaurant with your lovely wife, your family, which was great.
Right.
And Joe Brown, we got to mention, Joe. Joe is your partner. I love Joe. Joe's the best. I had him on here. He wants to be a stand-up comic. I said, seriously, he wants to do comedy now.
Oh, he does.
No. I'm only kidding with you. I'm only teasing you, because I had him with Jim Marsh. I mean, having them guys like watching paint dry. I mean, it was tough. Pulling stuff out of these guys. But I had a lot of fun with it. And again, like I said, having Joe, Joe Brown, and meeting you, because you go to that meeting once a month.
Yep.
Because I was performing where you guys have I'm not performing up on the Strip anymore, but I'm in negotiations right now with a major hotel to bring my show up there. It's another entity beside the television show.
I see.
I'm working with a very, very special friend of mine, powerful, powerful kid, one of the biggest agents in Las Vegas. And we're working with, I don't want to mention the name of the company till the contracts are signed. Don't want to jinx it. But having you on this show, I got to tell you, the respect that I have for you as an individual, because you hear what people say. Friends will say, I'm trying to say to you one thing when they're sitting at your table.
Yeah.
But to watch what's happening today, because I never had the pleasure of meeting the governor, Mr. Lombardi. Mm-hmm. He's the governor.
Right.
I never had the pleasure of meeting. Hopefully, maybe one day I can get this nice. We could talk about Italian recipes since this guy's Italian.
Right.
We got something in common. You might say, Leonetti, that name sounds so familiar. I would love to have him on the show. But when you were the governor, and I remember the days in the 80s, because I came to Vegas in 72.
Right.
It was a time, Bob, that was so magnificent. It was so this town was so magnificent, and how it changed. And people say, Mike, for a guy your age like you, look how handsome you look, sharp, you dress nice. When Kmart came to Vegas, that was the end of people getting dressed, because there was no way that you could have went to see Sinatra, with cut off jeans and
Nope.
You had to wear a jacket. It was different. But things are making a change now. Things are coming back the way it used to be. See, that's why this television show is so popular, because there's no vulgarity. I don't need to go that route. You understand?
Right.
Where most people, because was approached, hey, Mike, they'd say to me, why don't you do Joe Rogan? Why don't you get a little? No, I don't need to do that.
That's not your personality.
No, that's not my
your
personality, because
character.
we're dealing with Kellogg's, we're dealing with kids. I got to ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
Is it Frosted Flakes? Is it Cocoa Krispies? Is it Pops? Or is it Fruit Loops?
It's cornflakes.
Oh, it's cornflakes.
Cornflakes.
Just
Kellogg's
straight
cornflakes. Straight cornflakes.
Straight cornflakes.
I'm a very straightforward guy. I like it, the original base.
Did you put anything in it?
I put almond milk.
Oh, almond milk. Is that
Yeah.
you're lactose tolerant? You can't.
No, I can. I'm not intolerant of lactose, but I have a kidney issue.
Oh,
so I have to
kidney
take care of my kidneys.
Okay.
So I have to avoid a lot of different things, including milk.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's good with almond milk.
I like almond milk. It's a little
Yeah.
thick. It's kind of heavy for me.
The new kind they have now is much better. It's healthy for you.
Really?
And it enhances the cornflakes. It makes them even better.
Well, Bob, we're the same age, because I'm 73.
I'm 88.
How old are you?
88.
Get the hell out. You're 88?
Yeah.
Shake my hand, boy.
Yeah,
I got to tell you. 88. God bless you. Does he look 88, Johnny? God
He
bless
does
him, how
not.
handsome he
He
looks.
looks
88
absolutely
years old.
fabulous.
Well, I knew that. I just want everybody to know how good you look. And ladies and gentlemen, it's almond milk. You got to use almond milk, to look as good as Bob List. Bob, I'm going to swing over to my buddy John over here. John, thank you for coming on the show. This was unexpected, but I wanted to bring you on. And I hope through the grace of God we can do something spectacular, because I talked to the Honorable Judge yesterday. He called me on the phone. He said, Mike, we got to get this show national. He said, we got to get this show national. Tell everybody who you are, what you got, and how many people you reach.
Well, sure, and thanks to Honorable Robbie for introducing us as well, and
Robbie Freeman, Honorable Bob Freeman.
That's right. So I did a tour of duty in Hollywood for about 20 years, and I really loved the business, but I really couldn't. I got a little tired of just the whole LA scene, and
Right.
so I decided to take a venture out here, and I darted a map, and it landed here in Las Vegas, and I came here to Las Vegas almost 25 years ago, and I tell you, this is as phenomenal as the governor had mentioned. Things have changed. Unfortunately, I saw that coming, and Las Vegas has been a great town, and so I produced over 2,000 television shows and 750 live events, and so I did what anybody would do. I decided to start a television network. It's called the Las Vegas Television Network. It's all Vegas all the time. And the reason for that is because there's two types of people in this world: people that come to Las Vegas and people that want to come to Las Vegas. So I kind of feel just like the governor. The governor is the most important ambassador that we have here in the state of Nevada, and of course Las Vegas. And I kind of feel that's what I've become, as an ambassador to Las Vegas, so we can take Las Vegas and bring our content. And we do all kinds of different content: reality shows, entertainment shows. We do sporting events, as it's become a big deal here in Las Vegas, game shows, things of that nature. The great thing about Las Vegas, Governor Liz, as you know, is that this is a community that really takes care of each other. We work with each other. Hollywood, not so much. I've got a sign above my desk that says attitudes, with a big round red circle and a line through it. If I want attitudes, I'll go back to Hollywood, and that's what I saw in you. I didn't see an attitude, I saw a performer, and I want to do more of that type of old school performance, because that's really, Governor List, what made Las Vegas what it is today. People try to change it a little bit, but you can never take Las Vegas out of Las Vegas, can you?
No, never. I tell you, real quick, when I first met him, and at the time, he said, He was up watching my show, and that's when I was introduced because I was all dressed, and the Supreme Court Justice Bob, he turns around and says, "Who is this guy? Boy, where'd you get that suit?" Because I'm Italian. You know the Italians dress. It's that or stripes, one or the other. We got the suit on. I'm gonna kid you. I said, I reach 20,000 people. I say to him. He says, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." "How many people do you reach?" He says, "About 1.5 million." I said, "Holy smoke!" I said, "I need your card." I said, well, ladies and gentlemen, there's no words to say thank you. We're coming back with a third segment. This show's a little bit longer than we normally do, and guess what? They're going to charge me, and I don't care, because let me tell you something. I am so honored and blessed to have these men that are here today, because, they're very, very busy. They're doing a lot of very wonderful. Bob, real quick, what are you doing? You're still in politics, that I know.
Yeah, I'm still in politics. I have a lot of friends who are in office, and I stay in touch with them. But I have a consulting company. I'm also of counsel with Hutchison Stephan Law Firm. And I've developed some real estate, some property, and my wife and I manage those properties, and so we're busy.
Well, thank you very, very much, Governor List, for not only coming to my restaurant, but for believing in me and taking me to another level by walking into this studio. I thank you. My brother thanks you. My lovely wife, Laura, thanks you. Rick Manning in the other room, we call him the Wizard. Okay, because he's always doing wizardry things in there. he thanks you, John. I'm taking you guys to lunch. So I hope you got some time for me. I'm picking up the tab because my brother, the last time he opened his wallet, moths came out of his wallet. So
well, I just want to congratulate you on your show and all that you're doing. It's magnificent.
Thank you.
Magnificent.
And anytime you want me to bring anybody on, okay, that could further their end. As long as these people got some girth, what I'm trying to say to you? Just call me and say, "Mike, I need a favor." Anything for you, Bob. Johnny, anything for you. Ladies and gentlemen, what could I say? We got one more segment coming back. I got another powerhouse, guys. You don't want to move. Stay where you're at. Now you know the reason why that I'm the #1 show. We'll be right back.
This is Anthony from WeLink Internet, home of the super fast fiber optic speeds. Are you paying too much for your internet? Is your service slow? Is your bill outrageous and keep going up? Well, look no further. WeLink Internet has you covered. Not only do we have super fast speeds, unbelievable customer service, but our price is usually a lot lower than anyone else. Give me a call to see if your home is available, and I will give you 30 days free to try out our service with free installation, and all the equipment will be included with no rental fees. Give me a call now to get you set up with WeLink Internet.
We're back, everybody. What did I tell you? This is a special edition. You can say, "Oh my God, Mike, you're on so long." You're right, because the people that I got, they're very, very special. Well, I got two phenomenal gentlemen. I got a very special gentleman, and I got another very special gentleman. Great singer, great entertainer, good-looking kid. I went to go see him at the Smith Center. He sang with a 97-piece orchestra. I couldn't even believe it. Violins, and they had all kinds of stuff. I was right in the front row, and this kid was great. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce two special people. Mr. Rob Lacy, ladies and gentlemen, right here. He just joined my organization with his company. He reaches 80,000 people. And with my 40, that's 100,000 people a week that this shows go to, and a very wonderful gentleman, the great, the fantastic Jon Karrant. Am I saying that name correctly?
That's correct.
What a handsome kid. Look how good looking this kid is. He's about 6'4". I stood next to him. He said, "Mike, are you standing in a hole?" I says, "No, I'm not really." I got to tell you, for this segment, first of all, I'm honored to have you, that we partnered up.
Likewise.
I'm not kidding you, because you deal with kids Kellogg's deals with children and people.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say to you? We got to go see this guy perform. You're going to be.
I was just telling him.
Yeah,
he's got a
he's
show coming up, right? When's your show?
Myron's at the Smith Center on February 19th.
Yeah, this guy, he doesn't do no karaoke singing around these little bars, you know, in these pizzerias. This kid's some serious stuff, and he's a great. So tell everybody what we do, how many people you reach, and what the hell's going on. You know what I mean?
So the youth advocacy is my primary focus, and that's for youth musicians in the city. And, you know, with the social networking and things like that, we reach about 80,000. And on like a really good month, it's about 100,000. The reach is strong. So people are paying attention. All eyes are on us because we're trailblazing innovative ways to reach the youth and provide opportunities, resources for them so they can grow. But because in Vegas, it feels like it's a fact that we have some of the worst rated schools. And we're trying to improve that, and we're also trying to supplement for what's lacking in schools with musical education. So I'm just very happy to be on the show today, and in your presence, Mike. You know, it's a place where I feel like we can grow, and
Well, without a
I thank you
question.
for believing in me and
Are
our
you
cause.
kidding me?
Yeah.
For what you do? Let me tell you something. I'm a firm believer. Your first impression's your last.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes. I
Your
get
first impression's your last. And when I came to see you and we sat and we talked, and I had you on the show before,
Right.
and take it because things are happening. I knew that 2025 was going to be my year. I just knew it. It's like when you get in the ring, because I used to fight years ago. I knew if I could, I knew I'd take this guy
prep.
down less than 3. I felt it in my system. I felt so. No matter what hit I got hit with, no matter what adversity came my way, you know what I mean. I just shook it off and came right back. There's the key, and teaming up with you was great. Your organization is fantastic. I want you to hold that thought.
Yeah, for sure.
Right next to that gentleman is the wonderful
Superstar.
Jonathan Karrant. Do me a favor, everybody. Give me a little close-up of this shot here. Can you see this shot? That's Jonathan Karrant's album. Well, ladies and gentlemen, over the Christmas holidays, I was invited through Cindy Domaney. She invited me to go see a Christmas show. Now, I never seen this young man perform before, and everybody knows in TV land who I am, how critical I am when it comes to entertainment, because I got nothing but the best on the show. There's a lot of good singers. They're nice people. They're not champions. I want champions on the show. I want people that got the ability to get a standing ovation. Because I said this before, your friends will stand for you. Your friends will tell you that you're great. But go to a place that nobody knows you and let that audience stand for you and let them tell you you're great. Then you're on the right track. So I went to go see Jonathan Karrant. He was singing, all jokes aside, what, 65-piece orchestra?
Yes, with the Las Vegas Philharmonic.
The Las Vegas Philharmonic. And let me tell you something. We're talking cellos, violins. I mean, it was, man. And this man comes out, and I'm very critical when it comes to entertainment because I listen to the intonation of a singer. Because you got to win him the minute you walk out on stage, ladies and gentlemen. You can say, wait a minute, in the middle of my show, I get better. Because any entertainment director, my day, will give you 5 minutes. They're going to come out, they're going to watch how you look, how you handle yourself, and how you pronounce a song. That's the most important thing. And this young man came out, and my wife said to me, what a handsome kid. I said, yeah, he's a good-looking kid. So, okay, that's number one. Great hair. That I lost. Nothing I can do about that. He came out. But when this boy opened his mouth, ladies and gentlemen, started singing, the voice was magnificent. This guy ain't no karaoke singer. I got nothing against people that are out there busting their cajones, trying to get out there to, you know, make a living. But if you singers that are out there, you need to go see this young man.
But thank you so
need
much.
to see this young fella perform. You will be, and if I say this guy's good, this guy's good, because in my restaurants, you say, if you don't like the food, you don't like my show, I'll give you your money back. Nobody ever said anything like that. And when the day you go see this Jonathan Karrant, make sure you get his album, okay, because you can watch him on YouTube. Just put in Jonathan Karrant. He sang with some great guys. Johnny, tell a little bit about yourself.
Well, that's my most recent album, but I also have a holiday album out. And if you are, I tour all over the place, but if you are here in Las Vegas, I perform at Myron's at the Smith Center regularly. But thank you for that beautiful introductory and for the great plug. That means a lot coming from you. I appreciate that.
I'm at the age now, and I'm at the power of my house right now. I tell it like it is, because I paid my dues. You know what I mean? I had my time. Now it's your time. Because you got 30 years to play with. I don't. You understand? I'm on third base. When you're 70 years old and above, you're at third base. You're on your way home, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I've just been blessed that God still gave me the voice and the power to do my drums and the singing, and I'm glad that I could still have my foot in the door, but I wanted to do something different so when I'm long gone, because one thing about this show, your children, your children's children, and your children's children's children will always see you on this show. They say, who else? Mike Leonetti. This show will be on it. That's why we got together, you and I, is powerful because this is the next generation.
This is it.
And what's happening today, John, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel bad for these performers. They're buying these kids for $100 a night. You know what I'm trying to say to you? And I said, I would rather go get yourself a job. Because if I can buy you for $1, why should I give you $2? Do the right thing. Get out there and do the best in what you do because your first impression is your last. And there's some singers that are good, but there's no entertainment directors. There's no more budgets. And when you get to a place, take the door. You want to come in? Take the door. And if you don't have the finances or the money, you are at the mercy of, working with tracks, you and tracks.
Yeah.
You got 67 guys behind you. You know, trying to say you that arrangement. And then you were with all them beautiful girls. I mean, that was fantastic. See, that was my downfall.
Right.
I was chasing them all over the joint when I was, oh my God, I was running. Back them days, it was Folies Bergère. Because I remember when I sang with, I tried out for Frederick Apgar. How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
I'm 6'4" if I stayed on this table. You realize that? And I tried out Frederick Apgar. I walked in, and them days, Jonathan, I'm sorry I called you Johnny. It's a tiny thing. They had the high heel, and I had the big 6-inch.
The platform?
The platform, oh yeah. I had the brother shoes on. You know, I walked in, and Frederick Apgar looked at me, and he says to me, you're too short. I thought I was like, I'm 5'7", and so maybe 5'10". He says, Mike, you're too short. He said, you'll look like a midget next to them girls. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Get yourself a little knack that I'll make you open the Bear Touch of Vegas. That was at the Marina Hotel. I had my shows in the afternoon. But it was guys that had that. He says, and you're not going to be happy singing with me. He said, because it's got to be, when you do production singing, you know that.
Yeah.
Song certain way, you got to move your hands certain way. With me, I got out there and I just I boogie down, He said, I'd rather you be yourself. And thanks to Sinatra, that really gave me the break. When I cook for him, I told you the story earlier. And then, like I said, the years went by, opened up a beautiful restaurant, and to have this show here, and to have, so many wonderful, powerful people. Because when you watch the show, I said to Mr. Kellogg, tell the people why you're back, because they don't need me to sell Kellogg's.
Right,
right. Believed in me. Believed in a man that's in his 70s. They said, I'm putting all my money on this fight. This guy's going to win. You know what I mean?
Your personality makes you the tallest person in the room.
Well, I appreciate that, kid. You're all right there. I really appreciate that. I love that. My brother always says, that's great. No words to say thank you for coming here. I am honored to have Rob Lacy at my place. Your organization. That's great, because I know what you're going to do with this now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the 40 I got this show, he tags it with 80 people on the back end. Now, not everybody's going to watch the show. They said, could you guarantee me that 100,000 people are going to watch your show? I can't say yes. But what I could say, 100,000 people get it. This ain't no junk mail. They get it. And I guarantee it. I said this before when I had the 20,000. I had 8 people that wrote back and said, please don't send me the show. I moved or I don't want it anymore. And if they say that, you got to stop. Because I have 100,000 phone numbers and names through my company when I have my restaurant. That's how I started with this. Right. I started with 20,000 people, and now it's 40. And then getting with him was 80. And then I just talking with the guest John that I had here, Fondly. Did I say it correctly? Fondy? Fondy. He's off camera with a gun. He's going like this to me. Okay, Mike, say my name right. Jon Fondy, working together to go national with this show, because people want something good. They want something pure. They don't need vulgarity, no 4-letter words. You don't have. Look, I'm not Joe Rogan. Do you understand? That's not me. And for me to come on here, even with my soprano personality, I can get away with it. But then kids don't want to watch me. Now, if I'm using that, then there's no way I can have this fine gentleman on my show, because he deals with children. You understand?
Right.
And you want to have that type of show. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's out in TV land. I'm going to say this to you and listen to me carefully. Jonathan Karrant, from a singer's point of view, from an entertainer's point of view, his voice is magnificent. His presentation is great. The kid is an upcoming superstar. And you're performing at the Smith Center. What's the date?
I'm there every couple months, but the next one is February 19th.
February 19th. And what's the name of the show?
It's just a celebration of some of the greatest songs ever written, part of the Great American Songbook.
Boy, that's great. And because you do a lot of songs that I like.
Yeah, all the timeless music.
All the timeless music. And which is nice because it's making a comeback.
Right.
Because there's a million impersonators. Everybody's an impersonator. But what I love about you, son, you're yourself like me.
Well,
I may do Sinatra's material. I got my own arrangements.
Right, yeah. It's an arrangement, a musical arrangement is like a tailor-made suit, and it's got to reflect your personality.
And you got to sound like yourself. I'm telling you, because what you got out there is all impersonators, which is okay. It's keeping Sinatra alive and Barbra Streisand alive and Frankie Valli alive.
Yeah, they're busier here now than when they were alive.
Because that's what people want. I got nothing against rap music. I think it's great and what's going on, but
it's classics entertainment.
It's the entertainment. That's what makes my show, unbelievable. You know what I mean? And when they stand up for you, you're doing the right thing. When they stand up, when they stop standing, that's the time to say, I think it's time for me to say goodbye. You know what I mean? Because there's a season. So, like I said, whatever time God gives me left, as long as I know I can knock you out, I can't do 12 rounds anymore like I used to. But I can take you out in 3. So I got 3 rounds to make sure when I say 3 rounds to get out there, do my hour, 90-minute show and bang him. Because once you come to see me, people take Valium and Quaaludes because they're like this when they walk after my show because the show is exciting, and that's what you have to have.
Might I add something?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to thank you for continuing that legacy because my son, he's 18 and he listens to like Rat Pack and you would think like someone that young wouldn't be exposed to these types of genres and styles, but he digs, he loves music, he loves music, and there's a younger generation that really appreciates it. So I want to just further encourage you to keep that going. And
that's great that he has that taste,
right?
But I think there's always going to be an audience for that style of music because it's America's poetry.
Yeah, and jazz and
like that hat.
Big band. Thank you, sir.
I love that hat, brother.
I got to come with it.
I love that hat. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you've been a marvelous audience. Don't forget Jonathan Karrant's album. Just go right there. You can get them online.
All music platforms.
All music platforms. Yeah. Listen to me. Go on there and get it. I say this at the end of my show all the time. Everybody knew I went away for a very long time. And a friend of mine said something to me I'll never forget. He said, Mike, if your heart's not right, you can never receive anything. And I looked at him and I said, what do you mean by that? Your heart has to be right to receive forgiveness, love, and understanding. Listen to a man that had a kingdom and lost it all and got it all back. You got to believe in God. You got to believe in faith. When you're down and out, look above a cloud, pray to God in heaven, keep Jesus in your heart. I'm telling you, listen to Mike Leonetti, what he's telling you. I got it all back. God gave it to me all back. Don't tell me there's no God because I want to fight with you tooth and nail. So stay loose as a goose. Thank you, everybody, for watching me every week. This is a little extra longer show. My brother's going like this to me. You owe me more money. Unbelievable. I give him enough. Anyway, I love you. Thank you. We got a whole new show next week. It's going to be great. Rick Manning in the booth. We call him the Wizard. I want to thank you very much and thank all my wonderful guests. We'll be back next week with a whole new bunch of people without all my antics. Thanks, everybody, for being so nice. I love you so much. I love you so well. If I was a peanut, I don't know if I want to be the shell. See you later.